Hello everybody and welcome to Cheshire Astronomy. This was going to be my first live session. However, because it is my first live session, Google has decided it's going to put me on a 24-hour waiting list, so I can't live stream, which is something I want to start doing more often as and when possible. So this isn't live, but I'm going to record it as though it is live, and it is the 19th of November 2025 and it's about 25 to 7 in the evening here in the UK. So welcome everybody to the channel. So tonight is one of the first nights where we've actually had a little bit of a clear sky and the temperatures really dropped. So I thought I'd test my streaming capabilities because I've not been able to do that yet, or not had the incentive to. And I thought I would test my telescope to make sure that everything is working correctly. So we're going to go through this session and we're going to go and have a look. There's a couple of objects in the sky that I want to go and have a look at, and we're going to see if we can find them and start doing a little bit of astrophotography. I'm not going to leave the session running whilst it's taking pictures because it's going to take hours, but what I will do is at some future date do a quick video with me editing them and amending them in Photoshop and stacking them and so on. So anyway, let's get to cut to the chase. Let's have a look at my first thing that I want to raise with you, really. So this is so the first thing I want to talk to you about is where I actually am, just so you can see what I can see or not see. So this is my house here. This is my little observatory here with a little roll-off roof. This is a huge big oak tree. Now my house faces literally due north. So this is due north, this is due south here. It faces absolutely perfect line north to south. It's absolutely spot on. But this tree here is to the northeast. So anything coming over the northeast, I can't see, purely because the tree is too big, too close to where I am. These trees here, these are massive, great big poplar trees. These are enormous. Twice the height of a house, if not 3 times. They are huge. So anything to the north is completely blocked out. I cannot see that way at all. And then behind me here are houses around to the south. So I've got limited access this side, but at higher levels, like 35, 40 degrees and above, it starts to clear off. On this side of me here is my neighbours. They've got a big gazebo up at the moment, right up against the fence, so anything close to the horizon on the west side is again out of bounds because the telescope can't see. So I'm a little bit restricted, which is frustrating, but anyway, we're going to go into what we can see this evening. So if I, with the little bit of magic from my computer, I should be able to take you over to my phone. So first thing I want to do is I want to open my roof on my observatory. So that's the first thing that I'm going to do. So I'm going to go down to observatory and I'm going to open the roof. Okay, so you can see that my roof has now opened. So what I now want to do is, if I flick to my ASI Air, I can get rid of that. I don't need that at the minute. So I'm going to switch on my cooling. Okay, so I'm going to get that cooling. So at the bottom it tells me that it's down to 5 degrees at the minute with 0 cooling. It's cold outside. So just to give you a little bit of an update on what I've got as far as my equipment. So I'm running on an ASI Air at the moment. In my cameras, I've got the ASI 183 MC Pro Color. I've got a Skywatcher 150p connected to that. Guide scope is a 120 mini. I need to replace that with something a little bit better, but it does the job at the moment. I've got an AM5 mount at the moment, which is connected, ZWO filter with various filters in it, autofocuser, and a camera angle adjuster, which I've bought and I really haven't used it a great deal. I'll be honest. There's just nights have just not been brilliant, so I've not really been able to use it or had any reason to. So that's my setup at the moment. So we're going to have a quick look now. What I have done and what I like about the ASI Air, bear in mind I'm using this on my phone at the moment, so it's a little bit smaller. I normally use my iPad. What I want to do, what I've done on here is, if I go to where is it, objects, scroll up to the top there, so I've got filter. So what I can do on here, I can put the time zone of when I want to observe, and I can tell it what direction that I've got visibility. So you can see all the north, northeast, northwest and west are blanked out on this because I've just got no visibility there at the minute, so it kind of restricts what I can look at. And then I've told it 30 degrees and above are fine as well. So that I've preset that, so when I go to tonight's best, it will only show me things that fall within those categories, which is really good. Now what I wanted to do, in fact, if I go and get my Ring camera up as well, just because you can see it move in a second. So what I was looking at tonight was, wherever it is gone to, this is the beauty of having a camera adjuster. So what I can actually do, I can actually line that up with the center of the Andromeda galaxy there. So let's go to that one. So you can see it's found it, or it thinks it's found it, and now it's going to rotate the camera to match the orientation that I've set on the ASI Air. Now it might be starting to struggle to capture it, only because it's got the HA filter still in place, not the UV one, so the stars might be a little bit dim or not showing through, so it might find it. It looks like it has, to be honest. So it's rotating the camera around to match that orientation. So if I go back to here and have a look, yeah, you can see there's something in the middle, but you can't see what it is because it needs a HA filter. So I'm just going to put this down for 10 seconds. Let's have a look, see what this does. The guidance now's decided it's going to start, which is good. So I think the camera probably needs a little bit of a clean, but we're sub 1, which is okay. I have had it a lot lower than that, down to 0.2s, but not, as long as it's below like 1.5, 2, I'm quite happy with it. There's no breeze, no wind tonight, so it's quite still out there. But I think there's probably dust on the guide camera, which is what's causing it. So there we go. So we have got Andromeda dead center of view. So if I get rid of the guide and zoom in, what we can now do is we can get it to autofocus on one of them stars. So because this isn't a live stream, I'm going to cut this little bit out as well, just so you're not watching this kind of find a star and focus automatically. So we'll cut. Okay, so there you go, it's auto focused. So if I wait for that preview to download, I can just verify that it's tidied the image up a little bit. Yep, so they definitely look a little bit sharper. And I say the guide It's gone up to 1.2. So I think I might go and clean the lens on the actual camera itself, because I think it's probably dirty, which might be what's dragging that down, dragging that number up a little bit. You know, put the aggression up a little bit. That seems to have maybe brought it down. Let's clear that. In the comments below, let me know what guide cameras you're using. So I've got a 150p, which is about 680 focal length, I think, reflector, Newtonian reflector. Let me know in the comments below what guide camera are you using, because I am interested in getting a different one. I'm getting a new one. This is, like, say, a 120. It is the mono version, but it's the 120. The ZW120. But yeah, be interested in what you're rocking. Let me know. Okay, so that's brought it down again, so I'm happy with that. Right, okay, so what I'm going to do just for this is I'm going to go to auto run. I'm going to go into here, and because I'm doing the Andromeda Galaxy, I don't want 300 seconds of images, because that is just going to blow the image out completely because it's so bright. So I think we're going to do 20. I think we're going to do 20 images on 30 seconds. What else have I got pre-stored? And I think we might do 20 on 60 seconds. I don't think I'm going to need to do anything longer than that, because it is quite a bright target. Now, when I come back to this and I'd start to do the outer edges, then I might do a few longer ones just to pick up that finer dust on the outside edges. But because this is the core that I'm pointing to, I don't want to blow out all the images, so I'm going to keep it at 60 seconds and 30 seconds, 40 of 60s. In fact, no, if I change that down to match, if I change that down to I only want 20 of them. I've got lots of Andromeda somewhere, but because of the camera angles changed, none of the others will line up, so I need to do them all in the same go. Now we've got 1 hour 57 minutes to meridian, so I'm going to get my phone, I'm going to ask Siri to do me a reminder in 1 hour and 57 to make sure that it does do a meridian flip. But these images are only going to take 33 minutes to do anyway, but I will tag it along a little bit maybe and do the other sides of it. So that's what I'm going to do. Say this is only a test for this evening, just to test the streaming and to test the camera's working, because it's been so long since I've used it. So I'm going to hit go on that one. Yeah, it'll go to home. In fact, and I don't want it to go to home when it's finished, actually, because I want to carry on. So I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to turn that off so then I can move it along either way and do some more. But yep, so let's hit go on that one. I can stop that because it's already auto focused. I've just done that manually, so just waiting for the guiding. That number's crept up again. What I haven't switched on, I've realised, is I haven't switched my dew heater on as well, so I need to switch that on because it is cold outside. That could be what's causing the guide camera, maybe because it's wrapped around the guide camera. So I'll switch my dew heater on to see if that might defog it a little bit. It could be misted up because it is cold air. It's coming down again, but we'll see how that goes. Right, so that is now imaging. So let's give it 30 seconds. Let's see what the first one looks like. And there we go. So if I zoom in, you can see the core there, and you can see some of the dust lanes. These are low res images on here because this is just kind of like the preview, but the raw files, or the high res images have a lot more detail. But yeah, that's Andromeda. So proud when I first found Andromeda with my manual telescope, no guiding or anything, and I was having to read the azimuth and the altitude and everything off the telescope. It's a big telescope, it wasn't a small one either. I thought going big was the best thing, obviously not in all cases. So I found Andromeda purely by reading the dials and everything and learning how to align it with the stars. And I found it, and I could just about see the faintness coming through with the naked eye, and it was like, it was amazing. It's like the first time you see Jupiter with the naked eye, or Saturn with the naked eye, or the Orion's Belt Nebula with the first eye. Those things stick with you. You feel proud that you've found them, and you're seeing things that our ancestors saw as well, and they probably are almost unchanged from when they saw them. It really does makes you feel very small and very humble to be seeing these kind of images that, like I say, you know, ancestors and prehistoric man would have seen, and almost unchanged. Apart from they would have had better vision with less light pollution than what we have. But anyway, so that's it for this video. Like I said, I did want to make it a live one, but I've not been able to, and I'm glad I haven't actually, because it's given me chance and opportunities to think about how I'm going to do these live streams. But when I can and when the weather permits, I am going to do more of these. So please like and subscribe, so when I do go live, and I'll be picking different targets, you can join me and you can see what I'm seeing live with the glorious internet and YouTube. So thank you for watching. Like I say, I'm Craig, this is Cheshire Astronomy, and I will see you in the next video.